Now, before we get on to the juicy subject matter of today, which is Stephen Crowder, who I haven't really spoken about Stephen Crowder ever since the allegations came out regarding his wife, which were utterly horrendous. And I don't know what's become of that at the moment because I haven't really cared too much about Stephen Crowder. And from time to time, I will see some of the things that he says and I won't really engage with it. But my goodness me, Stephen Crowder, ladies and gentlemen, goes off on Candace Owens. It is absolutely brilliant. We'll get into that in just a moment. But because we know we've been talking about the bad faith individuals that have been coming out and saying that I don't want one US Marine to die in Israel's war, that sort of nonsense that's been going on. We're in World War III, ladies and gentlemen. And we also know, because I made a video about it yesterday, talking about how these bad faith individuals that were fear-mongering everyone that we're going to go into World War III. It didn't actually happen. They were upset. They were raging online. They didn't want to admit that they were wrong because why in the world would they do that? And those people I'm talking about, you know, Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith. Tucker had his, this is just absolutely horrible moment. And then, well, Trump wanted the ceasefire deal to actually take place. Iran violated the ceasefire agreement, and then Israel violated it as well. They all just decided to bomb as much as they possibly could out of each other in the last kind of hours, and then Trump just unleashed on them. There is a clip going currently viral over on X at the moment of Trump basically going, these two countries have been at war for a long time, and they don't know what the they're doing. And then he walks off to his helicopter going to the Netherlands, I think, for the NATO summit or something along those lines. But it was so funny and he's so accurate. I think even Trump is fed up because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, Candace Owens has been saying for the longest time that we're controlled. When I'm saying we, the America and Trump is controlled by Israel. Seems like Israel is controlled by Trump. Now, because what Trump did is he proved that he has no handlers. So Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith, and the like that have been spewing this nonsense for the longest time, you lost. Suck it up and stop lying, which brings me into Stephen Crowder. Even Stephen Crowder, man, sometimes on the occasion, Stephen will get it right. And on this particular instance, he got it right. She has lied to each and every one of you. She is a compulsive liar, just like Tucker Carlson is at the moment. And if you can see through her lies, fantastic, brilliant for you. There's a lot of other people that would call themselves on the right that are actually starting to call out Candace Owens. And Stephen is one of them. Have a watch of this.
Let's go through the examples. Candace Owens said over and over again that President Trump would send you to die for Israel, for the Jews. I'm reading her actual ex-posts. Get ready, white American men. It's time for you to go die for Israel again. If you don't want to die for Israel, then you are an anti-Semite. Sign up to die in Iran for Netanyahu today, or just admit you hate Jews. Here's another one. They tried to redefine anti-Semitism, criminalize criticism of Israel on college campuses. Not true. Most crucially, seed the idea that the declaration of Christ as our king amounted to hatred against Jews. Also not accurate. All of this was done in preparation for the greater Israel agenda, regarding which they attempted to emotionally manipulate Americans to accept. The conspiracy theorists were right again. It was always about a planned war with Iran and a doomed heretical belief that mass slaughter of women and children is messianic. Let me read that again. It was always about a planned war. Where's the planned war?
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah. This wasn't presented as an opinion. This was presented to you as fact. And I had many people go, this is clearly a planned war for Israel. That's clearly what Donald Trump is doing. He's trying to get us in. Is that what you're seeing? If it's not what you're seeing, this was dishonest. Here's another one. Our foreign policy is dictated by Israel. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. That seems like it's dictated by Israel.
That's part of the plan.
Yeah.
Deception.
Trump will continue to do as he is told by Netanyahu. Don't drop the bombs. Okay, we won't. Sounds to me like one person's in charge. And here's the thing. That's a good thing. Shouldn't we be happy about this, guys? Shouldn't we be happy that Donald Trump at a certain point had enough and said jump, and they said how high? Both sides. Trump will continue to do as he is told by Netanyahu. If you want to know what America will do, spare yourself the fake White House press briefings and start listening to Bibi. We are a colony of Israel. Your politicians are bought and paid for. Taking separate components, there are politicians bought and paid for by AIPAC, by the way. I can't stand AIPAC for the same reason that I hate Act Blue. They support Hakeem Jeffries. But combining that and saying that we are a colony of Israel, and spare yourself the fake White House press briefings. Also implications that everything here, everyone who disagrees, was fake. If it seems like I'm being harsh, it's because you were told that the people telling you the truth were fake, and the algorithm amplifies it, and it made your life worse, and it embarrassed you. You get it? By the way, the worst part is you don't even get to celebrate the win. No war. Good, done. No nukes in Iran. Great. America is a colony of Israel. Spare yourself all the other fake information and know that you're going to go die for Israel, which ultimately led to an entire coalition demanding the impeachment of the man you voted for. Candace Owens legitimately told service members that they should seek a dishonorable discharge, which, by the way, wouldn't be a dishonorable discharge. If you look at the way she described it, it would be desertion over a war that wasn't happening.
LG19 writes, serious question, will there be jobs or community military members can join when I get a dishonorable discharge for not contributing to delete people or my body for the interests of a certain foreign nation benefit? I love this question. I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever, and these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what?
Yeah, desert for a war that's not even happening. And here's the thing. Yeah, I get it. X isn't real life. But it turns into real life if people believe it. And some soldiers, I guarantee you, believed it. Some soldiers still fell for it. Some are still falling for it. Like Private who is still AWOL and doesn't know the war is over, anti-Semitic Jim. This guy got the short end. He doesn't. Hates Jews. Look,
in an attic.
People make mistakes. If it was all a mistake, just say it.
Don't drop the bombs. They don't know what the they're doing. That doesn't strike me as someone that, is controlled by Israel's foreign policy or the Zionist regime, as Candy Owens loves to talk about. She lied to each and every one of you. And loads of people online are saying, her career's over because Stephen Crowder, 100,000 people were watching live. Look, her career's not over. She's going to be in the vicinity of YouTube and online. She's got millions of followers. She's going to be in that vicinity for quite some time yet. Until she decides to go away, she's going to continue to make money from people that don't actually know what she's saying is false. She's a propagandist. More than that, she's actually a very deceptive, manipulating liar. And that is one of the worst. She's a wolf in sheep's clothing, my friends. If you can't see what she is saying on her own X account, mind you, she's not hiding it. She is saying this right to your faces. She is presenting this, like Stephen Crowder pointed out, as fact, not opinion, fact. She wants her opinion, though, to be fact. She wants you to believe what she is saying is true. So many people that I know actually believe and are in line with what Candy Owens is actually talking about. There is a faction of people, believe it or not, they're the even more bad faith individuals, like a replacement kind of theory. loads of Catholics actually believe in the replacement theory, which says that the Christians are to replace God's chosen people in the Holy Land. It's like part of the whole Crusades. I've spoken about it a number of times. So, therefore, they're going against Israel today because they claim, notice how they say this, the Israel of today is not the Israel of the Old Testament. Well, hello? Of course they're not. We're not in the same time period, you dingbats. So what do you expect? I can make the same argument and say that the Pope back then is not the Pope of today, or the Catholics back then are not the Catholics of today. Good grief. So the only thing that has remained the same are the dingbats that keep coming up and keep popping up and keep trying to make one side out to be like they're the worst thing in the world. They lie to you. They don't care about the truth. If they did care about the truth, you'd be able to see it. Be clear as day. The truth will always set a person free. I have remained very staunch on that fact. Stephen Crowder can see the truth. He can see that Candace Owens is nothing but a liar. She absolutely cannot stand Trump siding with Israel. So she'll make up lies. Dave Smith does the exact same thing. The manipulation, the emotive language, people have got to watch it for more than 10 seconds. If you actually think about it, which a vast majority of Candace Owens' followers, they're not listening to her and thinking about what she's saying longer than 10 seconds. She'll speak very quickly. She will make I have to admit, it is really clever, but it's also really dangerous. It's like she's perfected the art of manipulative language and speech. Gee, I wonder where she got that from. And if you don't know the truth yourself, you're going to take what she says on face value, aren't you? You're going to take what she says as the gospel and then run with it. And then you spread it like wildfire. That's what happens. You keep on spreading what these dingbat, bad faith actors are talking about. It's nonsense. It's not the truth. She even made statements, which I'll talk about in another video, about Netanyahu not honoring the ceasefire deal, but not talking about Iran. They didn't honor the ceasefire deal. Iran was the one that broke it. And then Trump, was angry at both of them. But he was also extremely angry at Israel because Israel shouldn't have violated it either. They both don't know, Israel and Iran, they've been fighting each other for a long time. I don't think they want peace. By the way, you can't have peace with a regime that wants you gone. So I'm all for Trump wanting to get peace, and God bless him if he ends up getting peace. But us as Christians that read the Old Testament, we know that this is going to continue for quite some time, until such time as God comes back. Because the Bible says there's going to be wars and rumors of wars in the last days. You're going to have these people that are going to turn up and say that, well, the Zionist regime or the Israelis are part of this temple of Satan, which, by the way, is in Revelation only mentioned twice. And that is during the final times or final days. And I'm not saying that Candace Owens is anywhere near the last days, but there will be a faction that will come up in the last days. Okay. And I think Christ was also talking about the author, John, was talking about the churches. If the book of Revelation, chapter 1 to 3, I think it talks about all the different churches. And one of them, like Candace Owens, she'll twist scripture to make it sound like, well, today there's a synagogue of Satan and Bibi Netanyahu's part of it. Oh, boy. So well done to Stephen Crowder for pointing people to the truth, to facts. People that are listening to even more bad faith actors, why? What benefit does it do you? Because you just want to hate Israel? Israel has nukes. What have they done with it? Nothing. Imagine if Iran had nukes that chant death to Israel, death to the West, death to America. Imagine what they would do, huh? Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.